we are trained a lot of tests. We are trained how we don't know how to do our job, how they have to tell us how to do everything, but they don't train and help those teachers with the classroom management.
No, you're
they
right.
think that, and they think everything that works for one will work for everybody else. That's not true, because I have people that try to imitate what I did, and the kids went on their faces. And I'm like, it's the rapport that you build. It's the way you say it.
I agree. I think it's the rapport that you build, and you're right. And it all depends on the person. And if we had standardized ways of responding, it wouldn't work, because we have different kids. Each person is different, and each teacher is different.
Hey, what's up? Happy New Year. It's 2019, and this is episode 7 of One Tired Teacher. I'm starting a 3-part series on the power of teamwork. So in this first part, you are listening to Stefania Daly, a middle school art teacher who made the jump years ago from elementary school to middle school. Stefania shares her moving story about the beauty of coworkers and how they can really be there for you in life's hardest times. And she also shares her thoughts on coworkers mentoring each other and passing along what you learn. We had a little bit of a technical difficulty with a little bit of the audio, but I hope that you stick around, because Stefania has quite the story to share.
Welcome to One Tired Teacher. And even though she may need a nap, this teacher is ready to wake up and speak her truth about the trials and treasures of teaching. Here she is, wide awake. Wait, she's not asleep right now, is she? She is awake, right? Okay. From Trina Debery Teaching and Learning, your host, Trina Debery.
Hey! And so this is One Tired Teacher, episode 7, The Power of Teamwork, part 1. And today I'm so happy to introduce you to Stefania Daly, who is ready to share some of her truths about teaching. Stefania, why don't you start and tell us a little bit about yourself?
Okay, I've been teaching in this county for 21 years. I started and I actually took over a teacher that was sick. I started in October, and the kids had like 30 subs by that point because they could not keep the subs in there. So I went in a very not easy place. One thing that I was lucky, in a way, I was not in the first grade hallway, if you remember, but I was right next to Peggy and Shelley. I know. And Peggy was drop prevention at that time, and she helped me a lot. The first year was challenging, but it was, it was okay.
Yeah.
It became okay, bit in the middle of the year, and kids, they were like, they didn't trust me because they're like, she's going to leave like everybody else. So it got better after Christmas. The second year when I taught first grade was the year that I got sick, but I was blessed amazingly to work it with Mike and the staff, and what those people did for me. Better than family members. I mean, when I tell story to people and I tell them, they cannot believe it. Yeah. Everything, because it was only my second year teaching. They really didn't know me as well. But that was last year that I taught first grade, because being sick and teaching first grade was really high. It was really draining on me.
Yes.
Well, I was tired all the time, and if you remember, even if I didn't take the kids to lunch and recess, between the chemo and everything, and the radiation was very bad.
Yeah.
But after that, so Mike put me in 5th grade.
Uh-huh.
I fell in love with 5th grade. I told him I would chain myself to the desk and never leave. I think I did it for 3 years, and then departmentalization. And I taught math and science. Loved it. I had time to do a lot of my flip books. Since I'm always like to draw, I taught it to hands-on drawing, and we used the tools for teaching, which was it's the best book ever. And we did the Kagan training. I mean, my second year there is what Mike took. I sent me and Peggy and Shelley to Sarasota, was doing a training for Kagan. It was the first Kagan training, and they invited my second year. Mike sent me, and because
it was so different. That was the thing that was so special too, is that we had the most professional development in the beginning, I feel like, of our careers. Like, we got sent everywhere and we constantly were learning. I don't feel like that's happening anymore.
No, it's not, because everybody worries about the money, but at the same time is we are paying people to come and train people in our schools from out of state, when we have some amazing resources.
Yes.
In the same thousands of dollars to other people, when we could have people in the school helping each other.
Yes.
Really mentoring. And I think because of the mentoring I got, I am a mentor than everybody else in my school, because of who mentored me, between Peggy and Shelley and Ruby. I mean, those were the three people that mentored me.
Yes.
And Mike is a principal, and Sarah is an assistant principal. We were amazingly blessed.
I agree. Yes, I totally agree with you.
We have become what we have become as a teacher. You have accomplished everything you have accomplished, yes, because you're good at it, but you had a good foundation.
Absolutely. Wouldn't have happened without them. For me.
I remember all the stuff that we did. It was so cool. So we learned so much, and we learned from each other.
You were in 5th grade for how long?
5th grade. And I was in 5th grade for 5 years. So I did 2 years of 1st grade, 5 years of 5th grade, and that's when I had a 5th grade, because he had Peggy, Shelley, and Jalen. So he's like, what do you want, 4th grade, 3rd grade? And I'm like, oh my God, I have to go teach reading and writing again. I can do this. I was in a panic mode.
I do not remember that.
Oh, and I did not want to do K. I wasn't certified for K, thank goodness. 1 or 2nd grade. I really was like, I can't do the little singing, sweetie, little, let's go, guys, because my voice is so deep. And 3rd and 4th grade is all based on reading and writing. I'm like, I'm going to sing. So I went crying to Peggy and Shelley. And I'm like, I don't want to stay here. I want to go with you guys. What do I got to do? And Peggy and Shelley looked at me and she's like, you always taught drawing. You taught math through drawing. You made flip books for them in science with drawing. Why don't you become an art teacher? You always like to draw and paint. So I went to Mike and I said, I want to be the art teacher. He's like, okay. What do you have to do? I'm like, I don't know. So I went to check, and what you do when you're a certified teacher, when you have to teach any of these subjects, you just have to pass the test.
Yes, that's what I did. That's what I did for media specialists. That's what I had to do.
Yeah, pass the test. Yeah. Well, the same thing for me. Thank goodness of my background. That I like to read. I like art. I was born where art was. It helped me. So I passed the test and I became certified K through 12. So Mike is like, okay, you have a year. I'm like, okay. So I passed it and I got my classroom and I started and I loved it. And my first 3-4 years, I really loved everything. It was everything new. Plus, I get bored very easily, so it was a change. You know, I had my beautiful classroom. It was new. I was perfect. Yes. And then kindergarten parents and 1st grade parents start calling. When are you going to do some more paint? My child is a great painter. We need to paint more often. And I was like, well, 24 of them. If you want to volunteer, we'll paint every day. But then, you know, who was sucking on the brush, who was painting someone else. And I was like, okay, 45 minutes, 55 minutes of art, not good. So that's when you start dividing that you had to do from. I did half of the class was reading. I would read them a book, we would talk, and then we'll be the project on it. And here I go, I'm like, oh boy, I feel again like I'm a primary teacher.
Yes,
because that's what I'm doing.
It's not as easy as people think it is. I felt like I thought I was going to die in kindergarten, Stefania, in the media center. I'm like, I'm going to die. Like, they were like herding cats. It was so unbelievable. I'm like, this really is herding cats.
Listen, look at the book. Don't touch it. No. Don't eat too much on the floor. No.
It's so, we had a lockdown, and the kids were like running down the aisles of the library, and I'm like trying to whisper and tell them to, get back here. And they're like, it was so unbelievable. I'm like, oh my gosh, this is a nightmare. Like, I thought I was going to die. I'm like, I can't make it. I'm not going to make it. I'm not going to survive this. There was just no way. I went into Ruby's office and I was bawling, crying. And I'm like, I can't do it. What made you make the change to middle school?
Middle school?
Mm-hmm.
What happened was my 6th year, and I was getting pretty much I had hives every time the first grade and kindergarten coming to my class. I dragged it. I was like, I don't want to do this. I really don't like it. I'm like, but I did not want to leave Mike and the Peggy and Shelly and you guys, because, think about it. For 12, 13 years, I worked with you guys only. You guys were the people I worked with. Mm-hmm. And it was my family.
So you got a call saying there was an opening in a middle school.
Oh boy. And I was like, you know what? I'll just come and visit. I want to see how it is. Mm-hmm. And when I walked in and you see those kids that when she told them pick up a pencil, they picked it up. Mm-hmm. And their artwork was amazing. Mm-hmm. I was like, oh, I like these kids. And the last couple of years, every time I talked, and it's funny because Michelle Hart will laugh about this, because Austin, her first one.
I had him.
Well, I had him in kindergarten too. I had him too. And I remember whenever I talked, he would cry. Oh. And I looked at him and I said, am I? He's like, no, you're so loud and big. And he would just cry. And with him, a couple other kindergartners would cry. And I'm like, oh my gosh, because I am, I'm energetic, I'm loud. And he was like, and I said, sweetie, I don't yell. I'm not yelling. And he's like, I know. You're loud. So I was like, okay, I'm not. But then he loved me afterwards. He's like, I don't cry anymore for you. I'm like, thank goodness.
That is so funny.
But I was like, I'm not made for these little ones. I'm really not made for these little ones. I don't have the patience. So I went and checked it, and I fell in love with it. I came back to school at home. My mom was like, what are you going to do? I'm like, I really don't want to leave. We were spoiled. Being honest, we were spoiled. You want to do something, go try it. If it works, then share with everybody else. You want to go do this training? I'll figure out how to send you for this training. I will send you to this training. So it was like, it was cool. It was collaboration. It was so excited I was going to go for the interview. And I went to the interview, and he's like, so I will let you know if I want you. So I brought all the stuff that I did. They liked it very much with my kids. Because I did remember my Garfield outside the door. There always was, whatever the theme of the school was, that's how you dress the stuff. Mm-hmm. So he called me and he's like, okay, if I offer you the job, you need to let your principal know. And I was like, bawling my eyes out. I was like, he's like, if you want me to, I'll call him. I said, no, I need to call him. Yeah. Let me think about it. I said, I will let you know tomorrow. But if I decided, I will call him. And I came home and my husband's like, what are you going to do? I was like, I don't want to leave Mike. I don't want to leave it. I don't want to leave it. I said, but I'm not happy anymore. I'm really dragging class. I'm really dragging teaching these kids. I'm really not enjoying it. Mm-hmm. And he's like, okay, you need to call him. So I called him. I said, Mike. And I started bawling. I said, I love you. I love everything you do, but I can't do that. I need to go to middle school.
So you made the move to middle school. So where are you now?
I teach at a Title I, honey. Sometime you need to come and visit and you'll see. We have a lot of kids. They're in groups home and foster cares, many of them. And, many times they don't have lunch or dinner or breakfast. They come with clothing that is, you just want to take them and the clothes and put them in the laundry machine and wash them all together.
Yeah.
My room has a refrigerator, and I have a lot of kids that sometimes it's like, Miss Dad, I'm hungry. Do you have something to eat for me? So I have a refrigerator and a pantry, which I keep fully. So that's what pretty much I've been doing. I'm teaching digital art on the side while I'm doing counseling. You name it.
Yes, you're wearing many.
I like it, Trina. I really do like it. I wish it's too late. I'm not going to get my master, but I wish I went into counseling.
Yeah.
This kid came to.
That's a calling for you.
This kid is funny because I was like, did you went to talk to the counselor? He's like, yeah, she's not mad. She's mad at me. And I'm like, what did you do? It's like, well, Miss Danny, she might be a little bit mad at you too. And I'm like, oh my God, what did you do? He's like, well, I told her, I said, you're not a good counselor. Miss Danny is a good counselor. She listens to what I say. She doesn't give me advice or what her thoughts are. She listens to what I feel and what I say. Oh, I felt great. I said, man, don't do that. You're going to get me in trouble.
No, maybe she needs to hear that, because that is what a counselor, a good.
You are not certified to do these kind of things. So how can you do it? Because you did not go to school to be a counselor. How can you be counseling?
That's so frustrating, because teaching is a lot of counseling. Counseling has a lot to do with what you're doing in the classroom when you're listening to kids and you're advising kids and you're helping them in that way. Whether you went to school for it or not, you're getting on the job training. And that definitely doesn't mean that I don't think that there needs to be a school counselor, because I think they do an incredible job, especially some of the people that I've been fortunate enough to work with.
That's what we do most of the time.
You're right.
And the funny thing, you know what is another funny thing that it upsets me very.
Yes, let's talk about the things that you're noticing in education that you're wondering maybe why we're doing it that way, or what you're thinking about in terms of, like, I'm not liking this so much.
The kids nowadays, I understand people get upset because their attention span is low. Mm-hmm. Their attention span was always that way. If you remember, when we do brain studies, it says every 15 minutes, a kid should be standing up and move. The oxygen to that brain. You can't keep them sitting for like 40 minutes, 45 minutes. You know, I'm an ADHD person, and I took Vyvanse. I'm taking Vyvanse now, but before that, I used to take Adderall extended release 30 milligrams. Mm-hmm. And when you see an adult functioning this way, and your coworker and your kids tell you, you didn't take your medicine this morning, miss, it tells you a lot. So for me, it's like, if the kids understanding me on the day that I don't have my meds, and they're like kind of trying to figure out where Miss Did is going with this 20 conversations and jumping left and right, why can we not understand in them?
You're right. Are there any other tired you'd like to share?
Because we are trained about a test. We are trained how we don't know how to do our job, how they have to tell us how to do everything, but they don't train and help those teachers with the classroom management.
No, you're right.
They think everything that works for one will work for everybody else. Mm-hmm. That's not true, because I have people that try to imitate what I did, and the kids went on their faces. And I'm like, it's the rapport that you build. It's the way you say it.
I agree. I think it's the rapport that you build. And you're right. And it all depends on the person. And if we had standardized ways of responding, it wouldn't work, because we have different kids. Each person is different, and each teacher is different.
I know another thing that causes you teacher tired, and that is evaluations.
Between the VAM score, for me,
you're right.
I'm highly effective all the time, but guess what? When the VAM score comes, I'm barely effective, because since I take the lower kids of everybody, I take the school score, 0.666 every year, hon. From highly effective to almost 4, I get to barely effective.
That is so.
Am I going to go fight it? And I'm not going to fight it. It's not worth it my time. It's not worth it my upsetting. I know people get upset over. Just get rid of this.
Yeah, it's wrong. It's totally pitted teachers against each other. It's caused undue stress. You've taken away the atmosphere of being able to, like what you said, learn from each other, mentor one another. Like, that's gone, because you have this constant, fear.
And competition. It just all doesn't make sense. But I'll tell you another thing that causes massive teacher tired, and that is when you have double classes as a special area teacher.
But also, there was the year when you guys had to double up the classes.
Oh, yes. That was terrible.
So I was blessed, because
no kidding, because I had to do that, and it was and every time. It was 2 classes in there with just me. No, not like I had a media help. It was just me. Yes.
Safety is not a problem.
Exactly. That many students. And I'm supposed to read them a story and let them check a book out, which is, I'm like, that's not all I want the media center to be. Like, I had such high hopes. I wanted to do makerspace, and I wanted to do coding, and I wanted to do all this stuff. I was so excited. And then it was like, I hit a wall because nothing worked with 50 kids. And when I had 60 third graders, so 2.5 classes in the media, I thought I was going to die. I'm like, there's no way I can't make it. I can't do this. And I felt like, I didn't feel like that was a weak area for me when I was teaching in the classroom. Like, I didn't feel like my kids were completely out of control. I felt like I built rapport with kids. That was part of my
you did.
part. And then but I could not manage that many children, especially that many angry children that were just, the first year, I mean, I only stayed for half of the second year, but the first year I was there, they were horrible to me because they had to be. They've been lost and left and, put aside so many times. They had to push their boundaries to see if I was going to stick around. And then when I was there the second year, it was so much better. But then I wasn't on the rotation. Like, they came to me willingly and they wanted to be there. And then I had lunch with my 5th graders. They came into the media center and we had a lunch group. And then I had 4th graders that wanted to do it too. And I'm like, it's just special for 5th grade. And I loved the 5th graders. And I never wanted to teach 5th grade.
I know, I remember. You were very much of a primary.
Yes. And I was like, I love this 5th grade group. They were just
so much conversation.
Yes,
with
it was
them.
fun. You probably have some of the kids that would. Mm-hmm. Yes. Because, it was just, so that part was really good. But I'm like, this is just, it was, it was terrible. I don't even know what else to say. It was so hard.
No, I like it that I see the kids. See, and that's another thing that I liked it. Because don't forget, in Mills, we were so big. I would see the kindergarten twice a month.
Yeah, that's terrible. I don't know how you get anything done. You can't get a project done in that time.
No. Clay, you have to be careful because where you're going to storage all of them. Remember when I did the handprints and everything? It took me forever because then you have to have a place to storage it. Then you don't have to have it dry because then you need the carpet. I was like, okay, this is not working. Paper mache coming out of my ears from everywhere. You have to do a small one, not too big. With these ones, I see them every day. So the project, you see them every day. You create a report. The project are better.
That's nice. I didn't even think about that.
Yes, you see them every day. And see, middle school, you probably would like middle school media specialists because it's nothing like elementary. You don't have classes like that.
And don't even get me started on the no supplies.
There's with no paper.
Yeah, that's how that was my poor friend who was the art teacher.
$500 budget when you have 2 art classes. That's not good.
No.
But remember, my first year, I didn't have anything, remember? My first year, I did the Art to Remember, and I got that huge kiln.
Yeah.
That's how I got the kiln at our school. And I remember the first day that we opened, I went around to all the printing company around it to get their extra paper. Because we had no paper.
I do remember that, actually.
Because
they
cut some stuff
how smart.
Out.
Yeah.
They cut some stuff out, and they weren't going to give us... Mike didn't have enough money to do anything. That's why they cut the kiln and they cut a couple other stuff.
Yeah.
So what ended up being, I went around to all of them and tried to get all the donated stuff.
That was so smart. That was really smart of you. I totally forgot about that.
You have to because
you're right.
You become poor.
You're right. You have nothing. Okay, so we talked a lot about like what things that we would like to change. What do you think is something that you would like to see more of, or you would like it to continue?
I would like to see more of hands-on for kids. And this is because I am the co-advisor for TSA. Do you know what TSA is?
No.
Technology Student Association.
Oh.
Where kids do competitions. And they do robotics. They have to build a web page. They have to build game. So it's very much with computer and technology. And I want that they stop telling us what to teach and how to teach it.
Yeah.
Stop testing these kids to death, especially before. I mean, I always thought it was the most stupid thing. You test these kids in April, and then you expect them to work afterwards. And you expect them to test on stuff. They should be known by the end of the school year.
Yes. And then you can start the next year. That's another thing I can't stand. What do you mean we're doing fourth grade and at the end of third grade? Like, we're still in third grade. Can we finish third grade first? That used to drive me crazy.
Why don't we just, at the end of the school year, that's when we do all the testing?
Yes.
Because,
now it's worse. Now they test even more. Now they're practicing testing before a test. Yeah.
Sweetie, we just had benchmark tests yesterday and today. They were 2 hours. Then we have this 180 minutes test, 160 minutes test, and you expect the kids to sit for 3 hours. Me, as an adult, I lose my mind.
Yes, just being the what's the person? Proctor. Just being a proctor. I know, I couldn't think of the word. Just being a proctor for a test made me want to go. I was going insane. I would read the manual over and over again. Yeah.
You sit there and you look at them and you see kids are falling asleep, drooling coming out. Like, I had 2 of them. I'm like, sweetheart. And then they're done the first not even hour. I'm done. I'm like, oh, no, you can't be done. This is a 3-hour test, babe. Go back.
Go back.
You did, because there's no way you did it. And the kids are like, yeah, right, insane. Lady, whatever. It's just to keep the same. It's not much that I want to keep the same money, unfortunately.
I know.
I mean, and
we need a complete transformation.
And see, unfortunately, we also have, it depends from the administration. Yeah. I mean, the observation, it's a pony show. Why do observation at all? Let's not do observation anymore. Just do walkthroughs all the time. Uh-huh. Yes. That gives you
a good picture, a good quick snapshot.
Because when I do observation, the kids is like, you're not going to teach like this all the time now, aren't you, miss? I'm like, no, just be good, guys. I'll give you a chocolate party. I'll give you muffin and donuts for 3 days. Just be good.
All right, we've talked about the tired that exhausts us. So what about the tired where you love your job and it still feels so good? This is one of those stories. What's coming next is one of those kinds of stories where Stefania shows that yes, it's tiring and the job is hard, but this like making a difference to one student, even if it's just one, it still matters. It still matters the most.
It's a cute boy, these beautiful blue eyes, blonde, tall, adorable 7th grader. But let me tell you, out of control. So all of a sudden, like, he got sent to me by this teacher twice, and I made him do all these shenanigans, and he left. And I get a call a couple of days ago. She's like, so-and-so wants to come to your room. I'm like, did he misbehave for you again? She's like, no. He said, before I get in trouble in this class, can I go work in Miss Daly's class? I can work in there calmly. Aww. So she's like, it's okay for you? I'm like, sure. So she sends me this paper, and some other kids are doing it. And it's funny, they don't come in my class because I have another classroom running. They don't disrupt. They're like, Miss, can I have your laptop so I can do my work? Sure. So, she checks if you do reading class. No problem, Miss, I'll do it. I'm getting hundreds since I'm here. I'm like, not a problem, man. Go for it. So
that's great, Stefania. And it's a perfect example of when you think or feel like they don't like you at first, and maybe they really don't at first, but like once they realize you care about their success, it changes the way that they feel about you and the way that they look at you, because they know that ultimately you do care about what happens to them.
What he did was he was angry, and he's back, and he's not my student, never been my student. But last year, a couple of times I saw him that he left the classroom. So I told him, I said, if you're skipping class, so you walk out of the class, if you come in my class, it's a safe spot, and they cannot say you're walking around the school. You're in my classroom. So I'll tell them, then I'm dealing with you.
Oh, that's great.
So somehow I got for him to trust me. So he went to Horizon. He was upset. I was upset because I couldn't help him. Mm-hmm. He got back. So his teacher, now he has to be in inclusion until he proves himself. So his teacher comes and she's like, so-and-so wants to come and see you. Can he come? I'm like, sure. Any period? I'm like, whatever, he's done with his work and he's okay, you can send him. So he comes and visits me like the last 10 minutes almost of every class.
Wow.
And he just sits there because I tell him, I say, sweetie, I say, he's like, no, miss, it's okay. I just sit here. Fine. I'm like, okay. And then one day he came angry, very angry. He was in tears, and they told me he was coming. And he's like, he's very mad because they told him he's very bright, but he's in this inclusion class because of his behavior.
Mm-hmm.
And she's like, he wanted to be included in the regular classes again, but because of his behavior last year, they won't. Right now, just now, he got 2 classes. They're not the self-contained classes. And it's not because he's not bright. It's just because of his behavior.
Yes.
So he came to me in tears, crying, and said, do you want to talk to me? He's like, not at this moment. I said, not a problem. I said, that's my comfy chair over there. I have just an office chair. I said, sit over there. I'll do my things. When you're ready, you'll come and talk to me. I'll come and talk to you. He's like, okay, I'll let you know. So I just did my things and kept coming by a couple of times. I said, you okay? He's like, yeah. And then he's like, I'm ready. I'm like, what happened? He's like, well, I really wanted to go into class. And I said, well, do you know bureaucracy? He's like, yeah. I said, well, unfortunately, you have a name for yourself. Bureaucracy is the paperwork, everything that needs to be done before they can give you the trust.
Yeah.
And it's paperwork that is not Mr. Cooper that is designing, it's not your teacher that is designing, but as the people downtown in the office, downtown, they're saying, this kid did all this. Now we need to do the right paperwork.
Uh-huh.
And he's like, I know. I said, well, just calm yourself down. Just show them that you can control it. Like, now you did a good thing. I said, you came to me because, this year he was upset about something. He punched the wall. He broke one of his knuckles. This is a 7th, 8th grader, honey. Oh yeah, he's got a lot of anger. So, and I was like, what happened to your hand? He's like, well, I got mad. I punched the wall. I'm like, sweetie, don't do that. He has got a big knot on one side. They don't know if they can have to break it. So I was like,
terrible.
Mm-hmm. So I was like, it's like, let me see what I can do. If I can figure out a way to get you out of one of the classes, I'll do it. I said, but we'll keep this. You can come anytime to me. So the teacher called me. She's like, I know I've been sending him to you all the time. He asked you to come to you all the time. And I told him, I was like, Miss Daly's going to get tired. And he's like, Miss Daly doesn't get tired of me. She wants me all the time and I want. So she's like, I wanted to make sure it was okay with you. And I said, sweetie, that's okay. He doesn't bug me. And he knows that if I'm doing something or anything, I'll tell him to go because I can't do it today. And he doesn't get mad or anything.
So how do we reach more kids?
I think technology helps him in a way because we noticed, remember when we were doing testing and then they told us we couldn't do anymore? You give them a lollipop or something to suck on.
Yes.
Like a candy. It worked, remember? They focused. You saw when they were thinking because all of a sudden you see the lollipop going because they were like thinking and sucking on it. So they had something to do. Nowadays, we don't do that because we don't want to give them sugar. Why don't you let them listen to music?
Yeah.
I noticed that kids, after you do your lecture, and your lecture needs to be much shorter, more hands-on, because kids understand more talking with others and doing with their hands, have them listen to music when they do their work. And it's unbelievable how much more work you get out of them.
Yeah, that's a great idea.
But if you put new things in front of them, they're more willing to do it. Like a kid came to me today, he's like, Miss, I saw these new things. It's not the project. I'm putting it on the project you told me, but you didn't tell us that we have to use it. It's this 3D thing. And now I'm trying to figure out how to save it. I said, well, I haven't used that tool yet because, again, I self-certified myself in Photoshop. I didn't take a course all by myself. I did it. I went and clicked. I said, well, let me figure out how we can save it. He's like, I'll go Google it. I'm like, I'll Google it over here. So he Googled it. It's like, it's not working. I said, well, the Google, he's like, I just get a helper desk. I said, well, look at the way Miss Daly put it on. Oh, but the way that we put the question, that's how I do it. I said, well, guess what? You learned a new thing today. I learned a new thing today.
Yeah.
Kids like it.
I love that.
And my project of my kids, they do chart for teacher. They do worksheets for teacher. The teacher told me, he's like, I want to get this thing for science. She wanted to have something with the planets and she wanted specific images. Say, no problem. Zoe, go to Miss So-and-so. She has a project for you to do. Instead of do my project, you do this one. And so they're learning how to talk to adults
Oh, that's nice.
It's like when you get to a job, I say, when you have a client, you have to ask them a question how they want it. So she then started sending it back and forth through email. I did these changes. Is that right for you? So she changed it back. Can I do this one? Then you need to change this. She's like, okay, does this apply where you want it to get changed? And I mean, it was like
that's
amazing.
great. Yeah.
So
that's like those are life skills. Well, thank you so much for
and I know I talk.
No, I have I've got a lot of information to sift through.
So thank you for sticking around. I'm sorry about the audio. I know it was a little bit hard to understand and a little bit hard to hear, but I'm glad that you made it through and you got to hear all the stories that Stefania shared. And I hope that if you like this, you will hit subscribe or leave a comment or a rating. I would love that. If you're visiting my website instead of iTunes, leave a comment there as well. I would love to hear from you. All right, we're going to be talking about part 2 next time, and that is more on the power of teamwork and how important it is, and you're not going to want to miss it. All right, this one tired teacher is ready for a long nap. I hope you keep doing what you're doing and sleep tight. Take care.